Hi everyone. If you have been watching us and you have seen that the struggle is real with our internet, I apologize for the technical difficulties, but we are confident that third time is the charm, so we are going to give it another go. This is Faces of First Year. If you have not watched one of our videos in the past, the purpose of this is to let students know what key resources are here at Pima Community College and to introduce you to the faces behind those resources. So today we have some great folks joining us who are going to tell you a little bit more about Title IX, our featured topic. So I'm going to turn this camera around and let them dig in. Go ahead and please introduce yourself and what it is that you do here at the college.
All right, my name is Staci Shea, and I am the Assistant Program Manager for Title IX and Student Conduct here at Pima.
Great. And?
My name is Teresa, and I'm Connecting Mentors of the First Year Experience Program.
Great. Thank you so much, Teresa, for joining us today, kind of to give that student perspective as we all learn about Title IX. So, Staci, please tell me, what is Title IX? Define it for us. Break it down.
Yeah, so Title IX is a federal law that protects people from discrimination based on sex or gender in institutions that receive federal funds.
Mm-hmm.
So since colleges and universities receive federal financial aid money, Title IX is a law that applies.
Awesome. So what would you say is a key thing that first-year students, or really all students at Pima, should know about Title IX?
Honestly, just that we exist. When I was in college, I did not know about Title IX at all. There's some of these resources. So knowing that we exist, I think, is the first step, and I can talk a little bit more about when a student would maybe need our resources and what we would do at that point. But really knowing that we are here is kind of the main thing.
Yeah, because, I mean, heaven forbid, if you ever find yourself in a circumstance where you would need to go through this process and steps, better to know in advance where to even begin, or if you know somebody, you can be that helpful friend who lets them know where to begin.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, you were kind of talking about the when. Did you have any questions for her, Teresa, as far as,
Yeah, so I actually do have one question. So, when would a student be contacting you? What is an example of a student that would need to contact your office?
Yeah, so generally the situations we deal with would be if a student is facing sexual harassment or sexual assault. Those are probably the main things that we deal with. However, if a student feels like they are being discriminated against based on their sex or gender in any way at the college, we definitely help. But I would say sexual harassment and sexual assault are the main things.
Awesome. So, where is your resource located? If a student was needing to get in touch with you guys, where would they go?
Yeah, so our offices are located at downtown campus. So we are in the LB building in the counseling suite. It's LB 110, so our offices are in there. You can find us pretty easily. You can also reach us. You can go to, if you go to the Pima website and go under the current students tab and click on Title IX, you'll find information about us there as well and some different ways to contact us. So there are a variety of ways you can contact us.
Cool. And I'll also drop the hyperlink for that website after the video into this post. Are there phone numbers that they would call, whether it's to the college or maybe other helplines?
Yeah, definitely. So my direct line is 520-206-7028. Diane Deskin is the advanced program manager in Title IX, and her number is 206-7120. So those are the two main numbers.
Awesome. And did I mention something earlier about also a toll-free number or something?
Yes. So if you need to file a Title IX complaint, you can visit us in person. You can reach out to us by phone or email, or you can, on the website, there is a toll-free number that you could call as well. And there is also an online complaint form. So if you prefer to not talk to anybody, but file a complaint that way, that's fine too.
Do they file these anonymously, or do they identify themselves in the process?
So you can file it anonymously. One thing that I would encourage people to do is if there is an actual investigation, it's important to know that there's not as much we can do if you remember. So I know it can be, dealing with these situations can be very tough, but as much as you're comfortable sharing information about yourself, it's really helpful, and especially in getting to the bottom of what happened.
Absolutely.
So what tips do you have for students to stay safe on campus or for prevention?
Yeah, so there are a few things when it comes to prevention. Personal safety is huge. So one thing would, of course, be staying alert when you're on campus. So it doesn't matter the time of day. Things happen at all times of day. So just kind of always being aware of your surroundings. If you're on your, if you're on your headphones, have your earbuds in. Just kind of still knowing what's going on and not being too engrossed in your phone, which I know we all are at times. Just kind of being aware of your surroundings, knowing where your resources are. Pima has lots of colleges and universities in the United States have their own police department, and Pima, we have our own police department separate from the City of Tucson Police, and they're a real fully functioning police department.
Yeah.
So knowing that they exist is important as well. They have. There's a small police department at most of our campuses. There are police officers at every campus. There are also security officers. So kind of being aware of those resources. I think another important thing, especially in this day and age, is being careful about social media and posting your location. Thinking about that. I think too, especially when you first start college, it's important to meet people and make friends, but kind of be cautious with how much information you give out about yourself too quickly with people who you just meet.
Yeah. I know that consent is also a big topic, and something that is, I think, on a positive note, something that people are, discussing and making sure is also part of their routine. So what would you have to say about that in lines with this?
Yeah, consent is a huge thing right now, I think, especially with the rise of the Me Too movement, which I think probably most of us have, heard about and been reading about. Some important things to remember about consent. One would be that consent must be obtained at every point in sexual activity. So without getting, too detailed, somebody might want to make out with you, but it doesn't mean that they want to have sex. Or somebody might be engaged in sexual activity and then they might change their mind. And people have a right to change their mind at any point. So that's important to know. Another thing is an absence of no does not mean yes. So I think sometimes we have the image in our mind of a sexual assault being, a stranger in a dark alley and somebody screaming and that sort of thing. Usually sexual assaults are committed by somebody the victim knows. So whether it's somebody they just started dating, sort of thing. So people aren't always comfortable for a variety of reasons. Victims don't always yell and scream and say no super loudly. So it's really important to be aware of body language and nonverbal cues. So if somebody is really tensed up, if somebody, is not taking their clothes off, whatever is going on, it's important to know that person might not want to engage in the activity. This might seem weird, but I definitely encourage people to ask if certain things are okay. So so be very direct with people. Is it okay if I kiss you? Is it okay if we do this? Is it okay if we do that? That's super important.
Consent is sexy.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
All right, so we have a question that is common in our videos where we kind of like to ask that analogy, metaphor, fun question. So if you were to describe Title IX, its resources, in general, the process, as if it were, I don't know, let's say a pop culture or literature character, somebody that people would know, who would it be and why?
I would say Sherlock Holmes. And the reason is because you'll hear, when you kind of dig into Title IX, you'll hear the phrase due process a lot. And you hear that in legal proceedings as well. It's important that everybody involved in a Title IX complaint, a Title IX case, what have you, is given their due process, so the complainant and the respondent. So it's really important for us to ask a lot of questions, ask the right questions, really listen to the answers and really consider all of the information and analyze all of the information given to us and come to a logical conclusion. So that, or as logical of a conclusion as we can. This can definitely be a gray area, but yes, I would say it's definitely important for us to kind of use that deductive reasoning that is so,
Well, and also kind of like you were talking about earlier with safety with Teresa's question, just being observant.
Yes.
And vigilant and mindful of your surroundings, looking for all those clues, and even the clues of consent, is my partner into this? Are they still, okay with things?
Exactly.
I see some people watching us live. If you have any questions, here, I'll turn the camera around on me. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them below in the comments box. Again, whether that's you're watching live or if you are watching this video in replay, we will make sure to get those questions answered for you. Again, she's discussed a lot of really cool links and resources to connect with their resource, Title IX, and just figure out how it is processed here at Pima. I will put those links in this video afterwards. Any other questions or any other points that either of you would like to bring up, discuss, or share?
I would say, one thing that I didn't talk about would be kind of the bystander thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you see somebody who seems like they might be in trouble, try to be a good Samaritan. We have an acronym here that we use, CARE. So CARE. So the C would stand for if you see somebody who looks like they might be in trouble. C would be create a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you see something that looks like a domestic dispute or something like that. You could, go up to the people, if you feel like you can do this safely, and say, my car won't start, can somebody help me? Or if you're carrying something, you could drop it and make a big deal about dropping it and be really loud and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
The A stands for, and I need to consult my notes.
No, you're fine.
The A stands for ask directly. So ask the person who looks like they might be a victim if they help.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's really important that you as a bystander are also safe, but if you can intervene, that's really important.
Mm-hmm.
R would be refer to an authority. So as I talked about before, Pima has its own police department. So know that the police are here. Pima Police can be reached at 206-2700.
Mm-hmm.
I encourage students who I meet with or talk to program that in their phone.
Mm-hmm.
We have security guards at every campus as well, and then you can always call 911.
Yeah.
And then the E stands for enlist somebody else to help. So let's say you want to create a distraction, but you think you might need some help. Grab, ask, maybe there's a staff member or faculty member nearby who you can ask to help you out.
Mm-hmm. Those are great. I love that acronym, CARE.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
So one question that I do have is is there anything that you'd like to say to somebody who maybe has experienced sexual harassment or assault on campus and is afraid to come forward?
Yes, that's a really good question, and that is something that generally prevents somebody. There's a lot of fear surrounding surrounding reporting.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that talking to like a trusted friend or family member or advisor yourself, so somebody in your life who you trust, talking to them first is something that I would always encourage. Know that we're here to help you. I know you don't know me or you don't know Diane, who I work with, but know that we're here to help. We take every complaint we receive seriously. So if you come into our office and make a complaint, we're not going to tell you that you're making it up or anything like that. One thing that's really important when somebody says that they've been harassed or assaulted is to believe them right away.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we operate under. And that's, we just take these things very seriously.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Well, I want to thank both of you for your time and for joining us today. Again, if you had a question, maybe you weren't confident enough to ask it, or you think about it afterwards, drop it below. You can also always send us a direct message and we will make sure to get those answers for you. Again, take a look after the video for those direct links on how to contact the Title IX office here at Pima Community College and what your rights are and what the process is. And we just wish you all to be safe and have a successful, enjoyable time as a student here at Pima Community College. So with that, we will end this broadcast. Have a wonderful rest of your week, incredible weekend, and a final semester here at fall. Have a great fall semester is what I'm trying to say, as it is coming to a close. So thank you so much, and we will see you next time.